my name is Sagar Spheres. Welcome to my channel, where every story carries a life lesson to touch your heart. Please don't forget to subscribe and join the journey. This story made me believe God is still with us, and He is still working in mysterious ways. Stay with me until the end and witness the power of God. Many years ago, there was a couple who had everything money could buy. Expensive cars, mansions in different cities, bank accounts overflowing. They were rich, but deep inside, they were not happy. For all the years they had been married, they had no children. They tried everything. They prayed. They went to pastors. They spent money on the best doctors. The pastors told them, "Be patient. God will bless you." But the doctors said, "It's impossible for you two to have children together. If you want a child, you must divorce and remarry." The couple refused both options. They didn't believe the pastor anymore because they had waited too long. And they didn't want to listen to the doctor because if they divorced, everything they had worked for would be divided, and they would lose the life they built together. One night, the wife woke her husband from his sleep. She looked him in the eyes and said softly, "I want you to marry our housemaid. Let her give you a child." The husband was shocked. "No, I can't do that." But the wife insisted. She said it was the only way to have a child without breaking their marriage. The housemaid, a 25-year-old young woman, refused at first. She didn't believe the wife's promises, but the wife kept persuading her, telling her she would be cared for and treated like family. This young woman had no parents. She had lost her father and mother long ago. She lived with an aunt and uncle who never truly cared for her. She thought maybe this could be her chance at a better life. After much convincing, she agreed. Months later, she became pregnant. The couple was overjoyed. They treated her like royalty. She didn't work anymore. She wasn't allowed to lift a finger. They protected her every day. But deep inside, she was lonely. She had no family to celebrate with. She believed the couple's promises that after she gave birth, they would introduce her to their families and make everything official. 9 months later, she went into labor. At the hospital, she noticed something strange. The wife never left her side. She kept whispering to the doctors. When the baby was born, they did not let the mother hold her. They gave the child straight to the wife. She begged to see the baby face. They refused. The only moment she touched her baby was when the tiny hand wrapped around her finger, and she noticed a small mark on the palm. That was all she had. She heard one of the nurses quietly saying, "It's a girl." That was all she had. No face, no chance to hold her, just the touch of her hand. Then, without another word, the wife of the man turned and walked away with the baby in her arms. That is it. That was the moment they had been waiting for. The baby was all they wanted. They never cared about the mother. The young mother lay helpless in the hospital bed, her arms empty, her heart breaking. She cried through the night, calling out for her child, but no one listened. These two couples never came back. She was left alone. The next day, a man came to her hospital bed with a large sum of money. He said the couple had sent it as payment for the baby. She refused. She shouted, she cried, she begged to have her child back. The man left with the money. A few hours later, hospital staff forced her out. She had nowhere to go. She went to her relatives and told them everything. They were angry, not because of what happened, but because she had refused the money. They threw her out. Homeless and broken, she wandered the streets until one day, an old friend of her late father saw her. He took her to another town. There, she began working again as a housemaid. Slowly, she saved enough to start a small food stand, selling hamburgers and sausages. 20 years passed. She was not rich, but she could feed herself. One afternoon, 3 rich young women came to her stand. They bought food, left, and went to eat in their car. The next day, one of them returned. Then the next day. Then almost every day. This girl always bought the same thing and always gave extra money. She seemed to enjoy not just the food, but also talking to the woman selling it. The seller noticed something familiar about the girl, but said nothing. One day, she asked the girl her name, her parents' names, and where she lived. The answers shook her to her core. The names matched the couple who had stolen her baby 20 years ago. She swallowed hard and asked, "Can I see your hand?" When the girl showed her palm, the mark was still there. Tears filled her eyes. "You are my daughter." The girl was stunned. She didn't believe it and stopped coming for days. But the woman's words stayed in her mind, the way she described her parents, the way she knew where they lived before. The mark on her hand. Finally, she returned. She demanded to know the whole story. The woman told her everything. From the night she agreed to marry the man to the day her newborn was taken from her. The girl wept. She embraced her real mother and promised, "I will make them pay." The girl began investigating. She gathered evidence. She confirmed the truth. The couple she called parents were liars. Her real mother was the food seller. One afternoon, she entered the couple's mansion with police officers and her real mother. The couple froze. They knew their secret had been exposed. They were arrested. In court, the truth came out. The man was indeed her biological father, was ordered to pay the real mother for all the pain they caused her. The man was also ordered to sign over all his property to his real daughter before going to prison with his wife. After 20 long years, the housemaid who lost her baby finally held her again. And the daughter who was stolen finally came home. What man planned for evil, God turned for good. Because God's time is always the right time. Life lesson: you can hide the truth for a while, but not forever. What God has written for you will always find its way back, no matter how long it takes. So many of us today are just like the couple in this story. We hurt people, take what isn't ours, and think if we hide it well enough, no one will ever know. We tell ourselves we've won, but in reality, we haven't won anything. The truth is like a seed, buried deep, but one day it will grow and break through the ground. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but when it comes, it will be bigger than your power to control it. The longer it takes, the louder it will speak. When the truth finally arrives, it can destroy everything you built on lies in just one moment. So live with honesty. Don't take from others what God never gave to you, because God's justice may feel slow, but when it comes, it is unstoppable. And the tears of the innocent will always be answered. Thank you, @Sagerspheres.